Okay, so this is the review of the Nokia 2720 Flip right here. It's an interesting phone, pretty good phone. It has some drawbacks, it has some strengths, and I would say that if you're buying this phone, there are various reasons why I assume you're looking at this review. For me, it was that I wanted to use my smartphone less. So, what better way to do that than to get an antiquated flip phone? Well, kinda. This is actually a 2019 phone, but it's definitely a step back from a smartphone, that is for sure. And we'll get into all of the pros and cons right now. Okay, so first on the list are the pros. For the pros, I'm going to start with a really cool, I don't know if it's cool. I mean, I guess it's standard on a lot of phones, but it's cool to see it on a flip phone. Shortcut buttons. I guess a lot of flip phones have these, but it's always good to have shortcut buttons. So there are all of these buttons pretty much do something here. And it's nice to have a physical button to do it. So let's start with the middle button, right? You press the middle button, and you get into your app list. All of these are your apps, as you can see. So that's the middle button. You got this button here. This opens your notifications. So you just click this, and bam, you got all your notifications here. And you could clear one or clear them all. You go back like that, and then let's say you click this one. This is your call history button. So let me center this phone here. So you click this, and bam, you got your call history, your missed, dialed, received, all of that good stuff. Okay, so next is this button, which is actually a fully customizable shortcut button. You click this, and it opens I set it to my Messages app. So let's say I'm at a home screen. I want to open my Messages app. Bam. Opened the Messages app. Just like a customizable shortcut button. And so another shortcut button, I would say this is the last one on the home, this area here, the keypad, is this one here, which opens the camera. The really crappy camera, actually, but we'll get into that later. Okay, another cool, neat feature, I guess, is, let me just check the list. Okay, yeah. So the App Store. The App Store is kind of cool because I guess you wouldn't really expect there to be an App Store on a phone of this caliber, flip phone and all. So you open the home page, right? You go to this K application, and here you have, when it loads, you know how flip phones are, a little slower. Here you have an actual app store, which is pretty cool to see on a flip. And it doesn't look like one of those kind of clunky old app stores. It looks fairly new. And on this app store, you can get various apps. It's in categories like games, utilities, lifestyle, news, blah, blah, blah. Like just a couple examples are you can get a heart rate monitor, you can get a fitness workout app, plank workout app. You could even get let's see, you could get country codes, English verbs, French verbs. I think there's even like a get me out of a situation by calling me app. Massager, this is a weird one. Massager app, it's just basically turns it into it turns on the vibration motor and turns it into whoever, I don't know who'd use that. Battery status, you could even search apps. So let's say I want to do weather. Bam. Search. And here you have a couple. You got weather, weather light, Kai weather, rain alarm. I actually downloaded that. It's a cool one where it alerts you when rain is nearby, which is kind of cool. Okay, on to the next cool thing, or pro, should I say. So this one is cool. It is called Predictive Texting, which a lot of phones have, but it's, let's just say, a lot better than doing the peck, like the letter by letter, really annoying. You have to click this 3 times to text this one 3 times. You know what I mean? It's basically this predictive texting, and I'll show you how it works. So I go to my mom, let's say, and I want to text her something, right? So let me move this up here a little bit. Okay, so what this basically is let's say I want to text, how are you, for example. How are you is pretty easy to text with this predictive texting thing. You just do how are you. See how simple that is? And it basically works by basically guessing the most common words with the letters you use in that order. So if I want to say the word dentist, for example, I do DENTist, dentist, and it usually comes up. I'm still getting used to it. As you can see, it's not the fastest way of typing, but once you get used to it, it makes typing a lot easier than doing this. Hello. It's just very annoying to do this. So let's just say it's pro. Next thing is haha. I'll be right back. Okay, you see these right here? The Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus? Well, it was actually kind of unexpected, this feature, which is it's a pretty neat feature. So I don't like to hold phones up to my ear, whether it be the radioactive mutations that I might be receiving, or the strength it takes to hold it up to my ear. Either way, I don't really like it. What I usually do is actually wear Bluetooth headphones so I can pace back and forth and just, fidget while I'm talking to people. So this right here is a pair of Bluetooth headphones, and it can connect to this via Bluetooth. And it's not actually that difficult because it basically is a very simple connection. You take it out, and you'll see Bluetooth icon pops up. It's connected. So it's not like one of those annoying, really old feature like Bluetooth 1 where you have to connect it every time. I don't exactly know how Bluetooth 1 worked, but it's very simple, very seamless. You can connect Bluetooth headphones, Bluetooth speakers, all of that stuff to this phone, which is a plus. The next thing is, okay, speed dial. This is really cool. I mean, I just like it because you might as well have this with all the physical buttons. And speed dial is exactly what it sounds like. I'm not going to call anyone because I don't want to bother anyone, but 1 is set to voicemail, 2 is set to my mom, 3 my dad, and so forth. Each one of these, if you hold one down, it calls someone. So 1, I'll do my voicemail. I hold it down, and bam, this is my voicemail. And so it's just a cool, neat little, cool thing to have. Next feature. This is just a simple one. Big buttons, nice to have big buttons. It is a plus. Okay, another thing which is kind of cool is if you open up the phone, it takes SD cards up to 32 gigabytes, so you can expand the storage from, what is the base storage on this thing? Let's just say it's pretty bad, like 4, 5, 6 gigabytes. You could expand that to like 30, 40 gigabytes, which is a lot better than its base storage. So that is another plus. Okay, another thing which is cool. Now we'll get into this. Well, this is, I guess it's a plus. You go here, you go to, where was it? Actually, it's a shortcut. I forgot to mention this. You press the side button here, which is the power button, or the sleep wake button. You press it, and it opens Google Assistant. And as you can see, here's Google Assistant. You could play Bollywood songs. For some reason, I don't know. I'll actually get into that a little later. But so you press this. What is the capital of New York?
Albany is the capital of New York State.
So, works like Google Assistant. You could even get it to text someone. Like, text mom, are you coming to my birthday party tomorrow at 6 o'clock? See? And
Text mom. Sure. Mobile or mobile.
See, it's a pretty cool. I'm not going to actually text her, but it's another way to text people fast, which is a plus if you want to say something really long and you don't want to type it out. And the last thing I will go into that is a pro are the applications. So you have a lot of cool applications here. And I'm not going to go into all of them because that would be boring. I'm just going to go into some of the cool ones I thought were interesting. So you got WhatsApp, which is cool. I'll get into that later. I'll get into this one later. You got Boomplay, which is like a knockoff of Spotify, which is pretty cool. For some reason, it's not connecting. But you see it's like very similar layout to Spotify. You can even download songs, but for some reason it doesn't allow me to because it's restricted in the United States, but it's all good. A lot of these songs are actually from Africa. Nothing against African music, but I wish there was more variety. Most of this stuff is based in Africa, South African music. There's not really any of the other songs other than African music, which, so I'm pretty sure. Anyway, yeah, it's a network here. I don't know why it's not working, but there's that. There's this one, which I thought was pretty cool, World Radio, which basically allows you to go to, let's say I want to listen to something in Europe. I want to go to Spain. It basically has some radio stations live in Spain. So I want to click Cadena Ser. Let's see what happens.
¿Cuál es tu pretexto para no abrocharte el cinturón de seguridad? ¿Te aprieta?
See, it's kind of cool. It goes, I think that was an advertisement. Let's do another one. Africa, Kenya, Classic 105. I don't know. Pretty cool. It just has radio stations around the world, kind of like what is it called? Radio Garden, I think it's called, but it's a little bit of a watered down version of that. The next thing, which is actually very cool, is this podcast app, which is a nice feature. Podcasts, always good to have. And got Consider This, all this stuff, Reply Now, Planet Money, Smartlist. And the cool thing is, you can actually, I keep going back, you can actually search podcasts that probably wouldn't expect to be on this phone. For example, I don't know if you know Unbox Therapy, but it's on the podcast. Lou Later is on this podcast app. So Lou, oh shoot, I'm in the stupid, gotta change that, blah, blah, okay. You could go to Lou, Later, and bam, Lou Later. There you go. You got Lou Later. You got all the episodes up to date. Crime Junkie. You got any pretty much podcast on Spotify you can actually find on this, which is pretty cool. So next thing, weather app, which is always good to have. You got your temperature, you got your all that stuff, your weekly, hourly forecast, 5-day forecast, good stuff to have. You got YouTube. This thing is, let's just say it works, but you're going to be spending less time on YouTube on your phone. Look at this. I mean, this is just a random video, but I hope this gives you an idea. This is my finger. It's the screen, pretty crappy. Let's just say you're not going to be using YouTube unless you are really desperate. Okay. So, with that out of the way, I think I got the cool applications out of the way. Let's go to the cons. So the cons on this phone are kind of substantial. Let's just say that. I will start with the applications. So one of the things I really wanted when I got this phone and I heard it had Google Maps was I was like, cool, I don't need to have a GPS. I can use this to get places and it'll be nice. I could connect it. I'll get directions. I'll hear the beautiful voice of Google directing me places. That is not the case. You open this up, right? And I wish I knew this sooner. Like, no one tells you this. It's kind of annoying. Once it loads, let's say I want to go to CVS. Let's see, CVS. That didn't work. Okay, let's just go to, oh God. See, typing on this thing. There. Let's go to an AT&T store because that's what we got now, our options. It gets all the AT&T stores nearby. It's nice, right? It kind of looks like Google Maps at this point. You click an AT&T store. You go to directions. You could go to details and get their info, just like Google Maps, get their reviews, and I don't even think it's hours, I guess. You can get the hours and the schedule. But you want to go to directions, and you got that option of drive, train, bus, all that good stuff. Go to drive, I guess, and go. And are you ready for this? This is what you get. Ready? Directions. But they're basically like, look at this. Next, turn left, turn left, turn left, turn right on MCC entrance A, turn right at the first cross street. Like, it's not like I'm going to memorize this stuff. This is if you're really lost or if you want to see where you are. It doesn't give you directions, like tell you, you can't get it to direct you places. You have to look at it step by step. And it's, you can't be looking this while you're on the freeway. It's not, The other thing, which is a huge, dare I say, incredibly bad drawback, is WhatsApp. And for some reason, this is not written anywhere. You have WhatsApp. That is great, right? You get to text people, WhatsApp, full-fledged WhatsApp, except for one little stipulation. You can't call anyone. That is right. You go here. You can't call anyone. You can't video call. Video call is pretty self-explanatory. This is a flip phone. But you can't call anyone through WhatsApp, which is, why have WhatsApp if you can't? I mean, texting is great, but come on. Why can't you call anyone through WhatsApp? Okay. So the next drawback, is the battery. Now, you would expect on a flip phone with this crappy screen to have somewhat decent battery, right? Wrong. This phone, let's just say it can have an okay battery if you're doing some light tasks, but let's say you got your Bluetooth headphones connected, you're listening to a podcast, it will drain the battery within an hour to 2 hours. Like, it's not good battery life. Definitely not what I expected. I thought it would have a lot longer of a battery life. That's not to say that it's horrible. Like, you can get through a day if you wanted to, and you'll be spending less time on the phone anyway, so it's not like you're going to need a lot of battery. Okay. The next thing, which is a little disappointing, the camera app, right? You open the camera, you got this beautiful camera app, nice camera app, right? It's kind of annoying because this is a 2019 phone, and all they're putting in here is a 2 megapixel camera. I mean, could they not do better than that in 20? Like, why? Why put such a crappy camera on this phone? It doesn't make sense. Come on. Nokia, you can do better than that. At least a 6 megapixel. I mean, I don't understand why they couldn't have crammed a little, but you know what? It'll get you off of your phone more. You won't be obsessed with taking a photo. You'll be more in the moment. So, in the end, it could be a plus. Okay, this one is a little bit of a disappointment. If you go to messages, you got that predictive texting, which is cool, right? Predictive texting is awesome. You got the Google Assistant texting, but there's no button here to do voice to text. Like, you can't click a button and then speak and it turns into text, which would have been a nice feature to have, if you're listening, Nokia. The next thing is, there is a workaround. You go into WhatsApp and you can do voice messages, like, hello, how are you doing? Delete it. Which is good, but not the same. Like, it's okay, and it's only through WhatsApp. The next thing. Okay. The next thing, I don't know if you noticed when I was playing some of this stuff, the speakers. I mean, I guess I expected that, but the speakers are very subpar. Like for example, listen to this.
Hello, this is the Global News Podcast from the BBC World Service with reports and analysis from across the world. The latest news 7 days a
Okay,
week.
I guess it doesn't
BBC
sound
World
horrible.
Service
It
podcast.
sounds like it doesn't sound horrible, but it's not that great. And another bad thing, I just want to get this out there, is if you're calling someone and you put them on speaker, they have a very hard time hearing you on this phone. You have to be very close. Like, if you go a foot away and try to talk to them, it will be very hard for them to understand what you're saying, which is kind of sucky. So you'll have to either talk to them on speaker close, use headphones, or just do the old phone to ear thing. Let's see. Another thing, which is kind of bad, I've had this phone for, I want to say, like 1-2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. It's already pretty scratched up. I don't know if you can see that, but this material is not durable. You put it in your pocket with a key or a coin, be prepared to have some scratches. This is not up there on the durability. I mean, it would have been cool if they made this a little bit more robust, like got glass, got metal, but it is kind of cheap. It's like $100 phone, so it's not like you're not getting what you paid for. Okay, I think, let's see if I missed anything. I guess another thing, just really quickly, you can see the notifications on this little screen here. Just a little quick thing there. You have the alarm clock app. You can do alarms, timer, stopwatch. You got this volume button that you can go up and down, vibrate, silence. Let's see. You got your flashlight app, airplane mode, all that good stuff. So conclusions. At the end of the day, this phone does what it's supposed to do, right? It is a flip phone, and a fairly good one at that. I have gotten through 3 weeks, and you know what I've realized? I realized that I can do everything I need to do without a smartphone, more or less. Like, I have my computer, and that pretty much fills in the gaps. And I realized that I don't really need a smartphone. It's the one thing is just, it's annoying to text on this thing, but it's nice to be that guy who, flips open a phone all retro in the room, and they look at you, and it's kind of cool. And it's, lightweight, it's small, relatively, and you won't be afraid of getting it. No one's stealing this phone, let's just say that. And there are some drawbacks, but to be honest, you look at the flip phones out there and I tried to get a flip phone. I researched and researched. This is the best one you'll find. For the most, there are other flip phones, but for some reason there are basically no options out there. Good options. This has a sleek look, kind of cool. It has some cool features. You got WhatsApp, you got Google Apps, you have shortcut stuff, big buttons, and it's a pretty good option. The one thing I will say is that it's I think it's called GMS or GSM. It's only available on GSM networks, so that means if you're on Verizon or I think another one, T-Mobile, I forget what it is, you cannot use this phone. It's only good on GSM networks or bands, whatever. But yeah, look into that. Look it up if you're really serious about buying this phone. But yeah, it does what it's supposed to do. You'll spend less time on your phone, that's for sure. The thing is, though, that I kind of spend more time on my computer now, so it's like, But I do spend less time on my phone when I'm not near my computer. And yeah, that is it. I hope I helped you make an educated and informed decision on if you want to get this phone or not. And have a good rest of your day doing not much because we're all inside doing nothing. It's quarantine. Unless, of course, I don't know. Have a good one.